welcome to this month's Greenwich Literary Symposium Book Club review. This month is our Christmas review, and we can't show you the Christmas tree because the lighting was better here. But we have been reading This Is Going to Hurt by Adam Kay. As you will all know if you watched last month's video, because we told you at the end what we were going to read. So Katie, not to break tradition, what was it all about?
Oh, it was so different to what we've read, isn't it? It was more of a monologue, is that right?
Journal, a diary.
A journal, a diary, or a memoir.
Yeah.
And it was about this guy who was a doctor in obs and gynae.
Brats and twats.
Yep. And it was like loads of little snippets of shifts and like his life and things he experiences, and it was a total roller coaster of emotions in my
So it's his
opinion.
It's his when you're a junior doctor, they're told to keep a diary every day of the things that happen, and so it's basically his diary entries that he looked back on and found
they keep reflections.
they're really funny.
Yeah.
So he decided to write a book about it all. And then at the end, after years and he's becoming a doctor, he kind of realises what's it all about.
What is it all about?
Yeah, but don't worry about him because he's a very successful script editor now for
Who
the
we
telly.
saw. So we heard about this book because we went to see him do a stand-up gig in London, which was pretty much this book.
He must have been promoting the book. It must have just come out.
Yeah, because he did say he promoted it. He went on a little tour, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Till of them St Anne's.
Oh really?
Mm.
Home turf.
Mm.
So we kind of knew what this book was going to be about beforehand.
Yes.
And the show was really impactful. Like, you can imagine if you're watching him talk about this, especially towards the end when it gets very serious, everyone was crying and...
It gets very serious at like different stages, I think. I find it emotional at like different points all the way through.
Yeah, so I think it's underpinned by funny anecdotes of the life of a junior doctor and all the hilarious, objectively hilarious things that happen, but the undercurrent is a lot more serious and sinister, and it's the dire straits that our NHS is in. And I think any person living in the United Kingdom needs to read this book for a really interesting perspective on what it's actually like to be in there. And any supporter of this current government needs to fucking read it as well to see what they're doing to it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a really political, but also like heartwarming and
Yeah, it goes to show, and the whole point, I think, why he's written the book is to say, this is what's reported in the media about doctors, this is the actual truth about what happens, and, we are slipping up and potentially risking lives because we're having to work 20-hour shifts, and, you don't get any rest, and it's not fighting for more money, it's fighting for... to make it a safe job.
Yeah, and actually it's dead serious, isn't it? It's got there's a lot of seriousness to it actually.
Yeah.
But it's
the beauty of it is how funny it is.
It's lovely and funny to read, and it's like it is heartwarming as well. And I felt like I engaged with it.
Yeah. So basically, this book's for you if you kind of want to hear on the ground, on the shop floor view of the current state of the NHS, and you also like reading about the weird and wonderful things put up their bottoms.
There are some really like stories that made me literally squeeze my toes together. There are some like I'll never look at a lamppost in the same way ever again. It's
really funny.
But it's like it's beautiful. I think it's fantastic.
But it's not only for people like that. I would say if you care 1% about the human race and the Britain in particular, you need to understand what's going on. And it's the kind of politics that isn't thrown in your face. It's a comedy book, but it's 100% true. And that's scary.
Yeah, and if you don't care 1%, then read it because you bloody will do after it.
Yeah.
So marks out 5.
5. I found it the easiest book I've ever read. It was easily written. It's not that I didn't want to stop. Like, I read it over a couple of weeks. I wasn't that engrossed because it was a diary. You kind of knew that you could pick up at any point. But it's one of the most pleasurable books I've ever read. And just easy. There's no big words. I just thought it was a perfect book.
I thought I was going to hate it. I really was not looking forward to reading it, but I absolutely loved it, and I'm giving it 5 too. I just think it was...
I also really like the footnotes, like where there's asterisks to things. So if you want to hear more about a certain type of condition that he's referencing, you can read it, and if you don't, you don't. But when you actually do read them, you realise there's a lot of the comedy within the footnotes as well.
Yeah, there is, yeah.
So me, myself, I loved it too, and I'm going to give it 5 stars because I thought it was extremely funny and very powerful.
Yeah, very powerful. Not the type of book I would normally pick up, but definitely.
And I've already been recommending it to everyone.
And I've spoken to a couple of people who have already read it and also said it was amazing. My friend Daniel, whose wife is a GP, and he said he read it and he just absolutely loved it. So
so it was an all-round 5-star book. So well done, Adam Kane.
Cheers.
Adam. So what are we going to read next month, Kate? We've had another recommendation.
It's a recommendation from my sister, actually.
Okay.
Oh, I thought it was from Auntie Anne.
No, this is from Rosie.
Okay.
And she has just finished this, and she's going to read the one that we've just finished. This is called A Boy Made of Blocks, and it's by a guy called Keith Stewart. She has said it was absolutely amazing, so...
It's about a boy with autism.
That's right. And it says here the most uplifting novel of the year. So, depends which year you read it in, but...
So, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy December. We will see you in 2019.
Ta-ra.
Cheers. Happy New Year, guys.